1923. Black people and white people do not drink from the same water fountains, do not eat in the same restaurants. But tonight, in a boxing ring, a black fighter and a white fighter face each other, and the referee is Babe Ruth. The match begins. Punches fly, blood flows. Ruth has to step between them, and when the match ends, there is more blood on Ruth than on either fighter. His white shirt goes into the trash, and tonight, the baseball legend learns something. Refereeing can be more dangerous than playing. West New York, New Jersey. September 12th, 1923. Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock. A boxing arena packed with 2,000 spectators, the air thick with cigar smoke and anticipation. This is not a normal fight night. This is something different, something controversial, something that in 1923 America should not be happening. But it is happening, because Babe Ruth said yes. In the center of the ring stand 4 men, 2 fighters, 2 referees. One of the fighters is black, one is white. One of the referees is Babe Ruth. The other referee is also black. In 1923 America, this is revolutionary. In many states, black people and white people cannot drink from the same water fountain, cannot eat in the same restaurants, cannot sit in the same sections of trains or theaters. Segregation is law, Jim Crow is reality. And yet here, in this boxing ring in New Jersey, a black fighter and a white fighter are about to punch each other, with a white baseball legend and a black heavyweight contender serving as officials. The crowd knows they are witnessing something important, something that transcends sports, something that challenges the racial order of America. And they also know that before this night is over, blood will be spilled. 3 weeks earlier, August 20th, 1923, Ruth receives a telegram. A boxing promoter wants him to referee a fight. Emil Morrow, black fighter. Larry Regan, white fighter. Most celebrities would refuse. Refereeing a mixed-race fight in 1923 is asking for trouble. But Ruth grew up in Baltimore streets, in St. Mary's School with boys of every color. He learned early that toughness has no color. He sends a telegram back. Yes, but one condition. He wants Harry Wills to co-referee. Harry Wills, the black heavyweight who deserves a title shot. The man Jack Dempsey refuses to fight. By requesting Wills, Ruth is making a statement, validating him publicly. The promoter agrees. Wills accepts. This is more than refereeing. This is standing as equals. The promoter is nervous. Adding Wills to the card could cause problems, could alienate some fans, could create controversy. But it will also guarantee even more publicity, more attention, more ticket sales. He agrees to Ruth's condition. Contacts Harry Wills. Wills is initially skeptical. He has been disappointed too many times, promised too many things that never happened, used for publicity and then discarded. But when he hears that Babe Ruth specifically requested him, that Ruth wants them to referee together as equals, Wills agrees. This is an opportunity, not just to officiate a fight, but to stand on equal footing with the most beloved white athlete in America, to show that a black man can command the same respect, the same authority, the same space. September 12th arrives. The boxing arena in West New York is packed, and 2,000 people crammed into a space designed for 1,500. People are standing in the aisles, sitting on railings. The promoter is thrilled. This is the biggest crowd they have had in months, all because of Babe Ruth and the controversy. Half the crowd is here to see Ruth. The other half is here because they want to see what happens when a black fighter faces a white fighter. When the social order is challenged inside a boxing ring, the atmosphere is electric, tense, dangerous. At 7:30 p.m., Babe Ruth arrives. He is wearing a perfectly tailored suit, white dress shirt, dark tie. He looks like he is going to a business meeting, not a boxing match. He enters through the side entrance to avoid the crowd. Immediately, he is surrounded by reporters. "Mr. Ruth, why did you agree to referee this fight?" Ruth smiles. "That easy?" A confident smile. "Because they asked me, and because I love boxing." "Mr. Ruth, are you concerned about the racial aspect of the fight?" Ruth's smile fades slightly. His voice becomes more serious. "I am concerned about calling a fair fight. That is all. The fighter's skin color is irrelevant to me. They are athletes. I will treat them equally, one reporter presses. But surely you understand the controversy. A black man and a white man in the ring together. Some people find that offensive. Ruth stops walking, turns to face the reporter directly. Then those people should not come to the fight. I find their offense offensive. He walks away. The reporters scramble to write down the quote. This is news. Babe Ruth taking a public stand on race, defending the right of black and white fighters to compete against each other. He is saying that people who oppose it are wrong. In 1923, this is bold, dangerous even. At 7:45, Harry Wills arrives. He uses the same side entrance. The two men meet in the hallway backstage. Ruth extends his hand. Wills takes it. They shake firmly. Ruth speaks first. Thank you for doing this, Harry. I know you did not have to. Wills nods. Thank you for asking me, babe. This means more than you know. The two men stand there for a moment, understanding passing between them. They are about to do something important together, something that will be remembered. At 8 p.m., the ring announcer calls for attention. The crowd settles, noise drops, anticipation builds. The announcer's voice booms through the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's lightweight bout between Emil Morrow and Larry Reagan will be officiated by two distinguished referees. Lap first, from the world of baseball, the Sultan of SWAT, the Bambino, Babe Ruth. The crowd erupts, cheering, applause. Ruth climbs through the ropes, waves to the crowd. He has removed his jacket and tie, wearing just his white dress shirt and dark pants. The white shirt is crisp, clean, spotless. It will not stay that way for long. The announcer continues, and serving as co-referee, one of the finest heavyweight fighters in the world, Harry the Black Panther Wills. The crowd's reaction is mixed. Applause from some sections, silence from others, a few boos. Wills climbs into the ring. He is massive, towering over Ruth. He does not wave, does not smile, just stands there, dignified, powerful, refusing to be diminished by the mixed reception. Ruth walks over to Wills. They shake hands again. In front of 2,000 witnesses. It's a white man and a black man, equal partners in the center of a boxing ring. The symbolism is not lost on anyone. The two fighters enter the ring. Emil Morrow, black, 5 feet 9 inches, 135 pounds, lean, quick, dangerous. He has fought 24 professional fights, won 18, lost 6. All his losses were close decisions. He is hungry, determined, fighting not just for himself, but for every black fighter trying to prove they belong. Larry Reagan, white, 5 feet 8 inches, 133 pounds, Irish-American from the Bronx. Also 24 professional fights, 19 wins, 5 losses. He is a brawler, a pressure fighter. He does not have Morrow's speed, but he has heart, and he has support from most of the crowd. Ruth and Wills call both fighters to the center of the ring. Ruth speaks. Gentlemen, this is a 10-round fight. 3-minute rounds, 1-minute rest. As standard boxing rules, no hitting below the belt, no hitting on the break. Protect yourselves at all times, Wills adds. We want a clean fight, respect each other, respect the sport. Both fighters nod, they touch gloves, return to their corners. The bell rings. Round 1. Morrow comes out fast, dancing, using his speed, jab, jab, move, jab, jab, move. Reagan tries to cut off the ring, tries to get Morrow against the ropes, cannot catch him. Morrow's footwork is beautiful, precise. He is making Reagan miss, making him look slow. The crowd is divided. Some are cheering for Morrow's skill. Others are shouting encouragement to Reagan. Get him, Larry, cut him off. Do not let him run. Ruth and Wills stay on opposite sides of the ring, moving with the fighters, watching carefully. Ruth is surprised by how difficult this is. As a fighter, you focus on one opponent. As a referee, you have to watch both, have to see everything. The punches, the footwork, the clinches. It requires constant movement, constant attention. Halfway through the round, Reagan finally corners Morrow, lands a hard right hand to the body. Morrow grunts, covers up. Reagan follows with a left hook, another right. Morrow clinches. Ruth steps in. Break. Both fighters separate. Good. Morrow's nose is bleeding slightly. First blood. Not from a punch, from the friction of the clinch. Reagan's rough beard scraped his face. Ruth notices, makes a mental note. The round ends. Both fighters return to corners. Ruth and Wills meet in the center. How do you score it? Ruth asks. Wills thinks. 10-9 Morrow. He controlled most of the round. Ruth nods, agreed, round 2. Reagan comes out more aggressive. Best he has figured out that he cannot catch Morrow by chasing, so he waits. Lets Morrow come to him. When Morrow jabs, Reagan counters. Hard right hands, trying to hurt him. Morrow adjusts, starts throwing combinations. Jab, jab, hook. Jab, uppercut. Keeping Reagan off balance. Midway through the round, both fighters throw punches at the same time. Reagan's right hand, Morrow's left hook. Both land clean. Both fighters stagger. The crowd gasps. This is war. They clinch. Ruth moves in to separate them. But before he can, Reagan throws a short uppercut inside the clinch. Illegal. Dirty. Morrow's head snaps back. Ruth immediately steps between them. Break. Break now. He pushes them apart. Looks at Reagan. That is a warning. No punches in the clinch. Reagan nods, but his eyes say he does not care. He is here to win, by any means necessary. Now Morrow's lip is split now, blood running down his chin. He spits into the bucket his corner holds. The round ends. Ruth wipes blood off his own shirt, where Morrow brushed against him during the clinch. Small red stain on the white fabric. He does not think much of it, yet. Round 3, the fight intensifies. Both men are hurt, both are tired, but neither will back down. Morrow comes forward more, taking risks, landing big shots. Reagan absorbs them, fires back. His punches are brutal, heavy. Each one sounds like meat being tenderized. They exchange in the center of the ring, neither defending, just throwing. The crowd is on its feet. This is what they came for. Violence, drama, two men testing each other's will. Ruth and Wills are constantly moving, stepping in when fighters clinch, stepping back when they separate. Ruth is sweating now. His white shirt is soaked, not just from exertion, from proximity to the violence. Near the end of the round, both fighters throw haymakers. Reagan's right hand catches Morrow on the temple. Morrow's left hook catches Reagan on the chin. Both men drop, not knocked out, but stunned. On one knee, the crowd erupts. Ruth immediately starts counting. 1, 2, 3. Both fighters are trying to stand. 4, 5, 6. Morrow is up. Reagan is up. They are both wobbling. Ruth looks at them carefully. Can you continue? Both nod. Ruth signals to continue. They meet in the center, exhausted. The bell rings. End of round 3. Both fighters stumble to their corners. Ruth's shirt now has multiple bloodstains. Red streaks across the white fabric. He does not notice. Too focused on the fight. Round 4. Both fighters are marked up. Morrow has a cut over his right eye, blood dripping into his vision. Reagan's nose is broken, bleeding heavily. Every time he breathes, blood sprays. They continue to fight. Brutal exchanges, no defense, just offense. Midway through the round, they clinch again. This time, heads clash. Accidental, but devastating. Reagan's forehead splits open, deep gash. Blood pours, not dripping, pouring. Ruth steps in, time. He calls for the ringside doctor. The doctor climbs into the ring, examines Reagan's cut. It is bad, deep, might need stitches, but Reagan refuses to stop. I can continue, I can see. Let me fight. The doctor looks at Ruth. Your call? Ruth hesitates. This is the hardest part of refereeing. Protecting fighters from themselves. He looks into Reagan's eyes, sees determination, sees a man who will not quit. Ruth makes his decision. One more round. If it gets worse, I stop it. Reagan nods. The fight continues. Now there are two men bleeding, and Ruth is standing between them, trying to keep them safe, trying to keep the fight clean. Every time they clinch, blood gets on him. Every time they separate, he has to check their faces, make sure they can continue. His white shirt is no longer white, it is red, spotted with blood from both fighters. He does not care. This is the job. Round 5. Reagan is fighting with one eye. The cut is so bad, blood has filled his eye socket. He cannot see out of his right side. Morrow knows this, starts attacking from that side, jab from the right, hook from the right. Reagan is defenseless on that side, but he does not quit, does not back down. He just turns, tries to keep Morrow in front of him. The fight has devolved into chaos. No strategy, no technique. Just two exhausted, bloody men trying to hurt each other. Ruth is in the middle of it all, constantly moving, constantly wiping blood from his eyes because sweat and blood from the fighters has gotten on his face. Harry Wills watches from the side. He is not in the direct line of fire like Ruth. He is amazed at what Ruth is doing, stepping into danger, getting covered in blood, never flinching. Near the end of the round, both fighters throw wild punches, miss, collide into each other, fall into Ruth. All three men go down in a heap. Ruth is on the canvas, two bloody fighters on top of him. He pushes them off, stands up. His white shirt is now completely ruined, blood all over the front, all over the sleeves. He looks down at it, realizes how bad it is, looks at Wills. Wills nods toward him. Your shirt. Ruth looks down again, then shrugs. Keeps refereeing. The fight is more important than his clothes. Rounds 6 through 9 blur together, both fighters beyond exhausted. Moving on, Will alone. Reagan's corner packed his cut with Vaseline, not working. Blood continues pouring. Ruth is now covered in so much blood that spectators point at him. The referee bleeding more than the fighters. Every clinch, every separation. More blood on Ruth's white shirt. He has stopped caring. These men need to finish, to survive. That is all that matters. By round 9, both fighters move in slow motion. Punches telegraphed, exhausted. But they keep coming. The crowd silent. Not from boredom, from awe, from witnessing something unforgettable. Ruth is drenched. His white shirt looks dipped in red paint. He is the third man in a two-man war. Round 10. Final round. Both fighters know this is it. They both summon everything they have left, come to the center of the ring, and trade. No defense, just pride, just will, just refusal to quit. Punch after punch. Morrow lands, Regan lands, Morrow lands, Regan lands. The crowd is screaming, Ruth is watching, hands ready to step in, ready to stop it if either man goes down and cannot get up. But neither goes down. They fight until the final bell. When it rings, both fighters embrace. Exhausted, bloody, but standing. The crowd erupts. This was not about black versus white. This was about two warriors who gave everything, who refused to quit, who earned each other's respect through violence. Ruth and Wills confer. Scoring the fight. It is close, incredibly close. They agree. Split decision. Morrow by 1 point. The announcement is made. Morrow wins. Reagan is disappointed but not bitter. He shakes Morrow's hand. They embrace again. Ruth steps between them, raises both their hands. Not just the winner, both of them. Because they both won tonight. They both proved something. The crowd stands, applauds. This was bigger than boxing. This was two men from different worlds meeting in combat and finding mutual respect. Ruth climbs out of the ring, looks down at himself. His white shirt is destroyed, completely covered in blood, front, back, sleeves, collar. It looks like he was the one fighting. Harry Wills walks over, puts a hand on Ruth's shoulder. That was something special, babe. Ruth nods, tired, drained. That was war. They walk toward the locker room together. A white baseball legend and a black heavyweight contender. Partners, equals, friends. In the locker room, Ruth tries to clean up, takes off the blood-soaked shirt, looks at it. There is no saving it. Too much blood. Too many stains. He throws it into the trash can. A reporter who followed them in asks, "Are you going to keep that as a souvenir?" Ruth shakes his head. "No, that shirt represents something I would rather forget. The violence, the blood, the danger those men put themselves in. But it also represents something I will always remember. Two fighters who gave everything, who showed that courage has no color. The story makes headlines. Babe Ruth covered in blood. Ruth and Wills co-officiate brutal fight. The articles focus on spectacle, but some note something deeper. Ruth chose to stand with Harry Wills, to referee black versus white, to challenge 1923 racial norms. without hesitation. The Negro newspapers praise him. The Chicago Defender runs a photo of Ruth and Wills. Caption, "Two champions, one sport." Years later, Joe Louis invites Ruth to training, says, "I heard about 1923 with Harry Wills. That meant something." Ruth smiles. "Harry deserved better." Louis nods. "Because of men like you, men like me get our chance." When Ruth dies in 1948, Bill Robinson, the black tap dancer, is honorary pallbearer. Asked why they were close, Robinson tells the story. September 12th, 1923, the blood-soaked shirt, standing with Wills. "Babe understood that talent has no color," Robinson says. "That respect should be earned by what you do." That night, covered in blood, with a black co-referee, Ruth made a statement. All men deserve a fair chance. The story fades from most histories, a footnote. The night Ruth refereed and ruined his shirt. But for those who understand, it is much more. A story about using fame to challenge injustice, about standing beside those society tells you to stand above. Ruth walked into that ring knowing his white shirt would be destroyed, knowing he would be criticized. And he did it anyway. Because Harry Wills deserved validation. Because Morrow and Reagan deserved a fair fight. Because someone needed to say black and white could stand as equals. Ruth said it, with his presence, with a blood-soaked shirt thrown away that night. That shirt is gone, but what it represented remains. September 12th, 1923. The night Babe Ruth got covered in blood, and proved heroism comes in many forms.